Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome to yet another quick guide because I'm making quick guides instead of all the other requested tutorials that people are asking of me to do with From the Depths, and also I'm doing this instead of all the other things I should be doing instead. And you might be asking, BorderWise, why are you doing this? What is this quick guide about? Assuming you didn't read the title or the description or anything. Well, I was messing around in From the Depths, and in particular, I was messing around with this thing you see in front of you. This is the twin 130mm simple weapon, the custom shell weapon, and I was messing around with it, and well, this is okay. It looks good. Rhea did good work. Hi Rhea, love what you do. But the problem is, it looks kind of silly if you put it on a turret, because it's got this, like, 3x3 square metal base here, and the top looks like it's made of alloy, so it just looked funny, and I thought, well, if only I had the power to do something about that, to make it look pretty. And then I remembered that I do have the power. We all have the power. Through the magic of mimics, you can make anything look like anything else, and you can hide things from view, and just, like, it is time for, I guess, what is my first aesthetics tutorial ever, because that's not usually my style, but by gum I chanced upon something, and, well, here I'm going to share it with you. And first, a disclaimer, I'm definitely not the first person to think of something like this. I guarantee you that someone else out there has done it. But if they have, I haven't found it, so I kind of just stumbled upon this myself, and what that is using two mimics to mimic the turret cap and the mantlet. So without further ado, here's what I came up with. This is that very same weapon. It is the twin, wait no, did I say 130? I meant 150. 150, I always get that wrong. Then I guess here is the exact same weapon. It is put on a turret, and it's got two mimic blocks mimicking a turret cap and the mantlet. And I am possibly prouder of this than I should be, because, like, I don't know. It's simple, but not complicated. It's simple but fiddly, as mimics tend to be. And I know there are some people who think mimics are kind of cheaty, but yeah, I'm thrilled with this, and it's so much. It's really great to make a round-looking pancake-type turret with, and I'm very chuffed with it. So, where are the mimics? They are down here on this turret cap, and by the way, you might be thinking, BorderWise, why are you bothering to put this thing on a turret cap? The thing can rotate by itself. The problem with that is that all these simple weapons rotate rather slowly. You put them on a turret. I should probably activate the UI for this. Oh, I should go over here, actually. I should be in my seat. Ah, get back in your seat. No. Wow, what's going on? Put them on a turret, they rotate much more quickly. So that's the reason I like to do that, especially with the anti-air simple weapons. They just don't track fast enough to handle the aircraft that are flying right in your face, so I put them on a turret. Hence the whole debacle with the square bottom. So if this doesn't have any mimics, and I'm going to take full advantage of the Control Z function, this looks like this. And so when you just have it like that, actually I should make this metal so it blends in. What you get is you get very slight distortion almost of what's in here. So you see that, that's not what I meant to do at all. Meant to do this. So you see, that is what the base looks like, and that looks pretty darn terrible. And if you try and put blocks around this thing to make it look less terrible, it looks even more terrible. So instead we're going to do this, and two mimics. One of them is the mantlet, wherever that is. Oh no. Oh, I goofed. I goofed badly. Hang on. Bring the fortress back in. So there's two mimics under here. One is the turret cap, and it is a whole messy thing like this. Like, there's no easy way of arranging a Mimic. You basically have to mess around with all the positions. The left and right, up, down, forward, back, the scaling, how big the thing is, and also the angle of it, and you just have to mess with all of it. But this one on the right here is the mantlet, and this one on the left is the turret cap itself, and this is a metal pole. So, and this is easy to change, by the way. Say I go pole, change that to alloy pole, and voila, it's alloy. And let's say glass pole. That looks funky. Okay, and like, I don't know, maybe heavy armor pole. If you like, if you want to do the equivalent of painting, basically putting a fake sports car chassis on your Toyota, like something like this. That looks interesting. But yeah, the metal pole just, I don't know. It works for this. It works nice and looks armored and all that stuff. So. And the mantlet is a rubber block. Again, it's a rubber pole, and it's just stretched a little bit so that wherever the guns elevate, it should cover that as well. So you'll see it's about the same size. It could be a little bigger, but I couldn't make it that much bigger without it looking like really weird. And it looks and feels natural. So we do that. See over here. See how fast that tracked? That was really good. So it's there, it looks like it's in a mantlet, and the rubber even has the kind of, I don't know, the patterns on it make it look like it's actually the, what's it? I don't know what you call it. You see on older warships, like World War II warships and stuff like that, the gun mantlets, it looks like heavy cloth. No idea what that's called, but like the mantlet cover or something like that. I have no idea. Let me know if you know what that's called, but anyway, that's kind of what the rubber looks like. And I just think it looks like... Oh, well, that was hilarious. Yeah, I think it just looks like absolute bee's knees, llama's pajamas, and the relevant elephant. So, and in case you're wondering what shell this is firing, this is one of my favorite kinds of shell. Squash head with no backing, frag, 135 degrees, bunch of HE warheads, and just enough gunpowder to get it up to a decent velocity. So, that's fun and good, and I was so chuffed with that. I made a whole turret arrangement of these guys. Ah, darn it. So, if in case you're wondering, I am... whenever I am making a ship next that is just gonna have a whole bunch of guns on the side of it, like, I actually made one like that just the other day. Again, and I was using mimics to make the turrets look a little bit more sexy, and this is like, it'll have an arrangement like this, because I can so clearly imagine that on, like, the side of a ship, and just it'll just be the absolute bee's knees and awesome. And just they look like, I don't know, if you didn't know that mimics were a thing in the game, you'd probably accuse me of modding the game or something like that. Wow, that would have been bad if I didn't have God mode on. And just, yeah, it's like you can, so freeing. Mimics are so good for making stuff sexy. And you might be noticing the occasional frame stutter. That is because I messed around with graphics settings. The game accidentally set it higher, and I'm leaving like at this for now, simply because, I don't know, someone asked the other day why doesn't the water look as sexy. Maybe I should turn that back down though, because it might not play well with recording software. But in any case, that's not the only one I've done. I have also done this with other kinds of weapons. So let's spawn in the Marauder. Emphasis on der. Let's go here. I made a CRAM cannon which uses this. Not an amazing, yet the mimic's pretty. Tooting my own horn a little bit. So here she is. And same thing. So here we have this. We have the mimics hidden in the turret neck. One of them is just the metal pole acting as the turret cap, and the other one is the mantlet. And you'll notice that this mantlet's all bigger, and that's because with my CRAM cannons I always set it up with one elevation barrel and a bunch of motorized barrels, so that it can aim almost straight up. Like this. So If you do that, you'll see it's actually past the mantlet already. I couldn't make this thing any bigger without it starting to look really stupid, so I quit while I was ahead. I perhaps could make it a bit bigger, but I elected not to. So there is that, and same story, really. Like, you can have it like that. It fires away. It's really good. Not an amazing CRAM cannon, by the way. Let's just give you a quick look in here. It's just central column of connectors, auto loaders, got the ammo and pellets all around. Gauge increase stuffed in wherever you can. And the mimics are actually down here in the turret guts itself, so it doesn't look particularly stupid. But also, the downside to this does mean that you can't tell if the turret cap itself is damaged. And I'll just show you what it looks like without these mimics. So, and let's delete that because we're gonna start losing frames. This is what it looks like. It looks very basic, but with the mimics, it looks just a whole lot better. There's 2 blocks to do that. It's also great if you just want to keep costs down, but you do want things to still look pretty good. Yeah, mimics are fantastic. And what's this again? No, that's a mantlet. And this thing is the turret cap. And as I was like saying before, it's just if you want to change it, ta-da! It's like, I think the alloy looks really good. I think that might have been the reason that the simple weapons, the custom shell ones, that they've got alloy plating on them instead of metal. It just goes, this looks really friggin' sweet, and I love it. Love it to bits. So, and that's the last thing I did. I tried to, because I thought to myself, well, I actually made this before the CRAM cannon one. That was the last one, but this one you could, no, wrong. I don't need the guide. I know what I'm doing, honest. So we got this, and this is an advanced... Are you freaking... I thought I deleted those extra turrets. Apparently not. Well, they can stay. So this is exactly the same thing, only bigger, and I'll show you where the stuff is. Kind of improvised Tetris right here. Surge protectors, because I couldn't fit anything else down there. And big one. This turret is actually a little bit too big, probably. And somehow we need to get in there. And the great thing about mimics is like, okay, I can't see anything. Yes, I can. We can just zoom in a bit more. So here's the mimic, and this is the cap. Whoop. And there's the mantlet. Whoop. And this is what it looks like without it. It just, yeah. This is a really easy way of just making a pancake turret from nothing. And also if you don't feel like spending the extra time or, well, energy, I guess, just making things look pretty. It's just mimics are fantastic for this. So yeah, like this, I guess this is also kind of a turret cap tutorial, except not really, because it's just how to make this very specific kind of like round turret. Which some of you might love the look of and some of you might not. I personally think it is fantastic. This one's a little bit too big though, and that's because the turret itself is a little bit too big. Probably don't need this extra layer up here or anything like that. But yeah. Actually even this, it looks not awful, but yeah, looks better than before. So, see? And there we go. That's basically it. It's how to do that. You get in there, mess around with a mimic. Metal pole, rubber pole. Metal and rubber go well together. It's fan-dabby-dozy. So I'm gonna have you... just high explosive. Boring high explosive. Reasonable rate of fire, and just bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. And before anyone asks, yes, I am gonna find a way to stick this into, like, my custom factions. I am going to find a way. Just watch me. There goes that CRAM shell again. So yeah, that's basically it for this quick guide. It's, yeah, 2 mimic blocks, 2 different kinds of blocks to impersonate, and away you go. You've got a lovely, delicious pancake turret. So on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon if you like, it really helps. Thank you to all my current Patreon supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths Quick Guides. Farewell.